the Eberechi Eze transfer hijack. It seemed for all the world that he was going to go to Tottenham. Then Arsenal swooped in, agreed a deal with Crystal Palace. As we said, he was presented to the Emirates crowd before their win over Leeds. And I said to you off camera, my first thought when the Arsenal Eze news broke was, oh, Charles is going to love this. He's championed the Eze move all summer long. First of all, I just want to get, as someone who has been banging that Eze drum all summer, what was your reaction to the news that Eze was coming to Arsenal?
Just absolute delight. Honestly, I was so happy. I can't probably Mesut Ozil was the last signing which excited me at the level that Eze did. You know, Ozil at the time was such a groundbreaking deal for so many reasons because of the years that sort of preceded it and the lack of money that Arsenal had spent. But this one, like you said, it was just one that I just felt for so long he'd be absolutely perfect, and he was the exact sort of player that Arsenal needed in the squad. I'd given up on my dream of it, really. You know, I presume, like everyone else did, he was just going to go to Tottenham, and that was going to make it even a tougher pill to swallow as well that he was going there. But just to see Arsenal react and act like that in a transfer market, I think as well just added to my sense of delight over the way the whole thing was handled. You know, I think they and I know when you speak to people at Arsenal about this, they're insistent that it's not just because of Kai Havertz's injury. You know, someone that and we do the interest was there for a long time, but when you speak to people at Arsenal, they're insistent it wasn't just a pure reactionary move. You know, it was something they'd been looking at and trying to work out if they could get a deal done for it. And so I'm not absolutely convinced in my head in terms of if it would have happened anyway, even without Kai Havertz's injury. But just to see them attack the market with such intent to get a player in, to beat others to him, and for it to be the player who, in my view, is absolutely perfect for this squad. It was a fantastic day. It really was, well, fantastic evening anyway, on the back of the Havertz news. And it reminded me as well that social media can be a fun place to be, because it was a very fun place to be as an Arsenal fan on that Wednesday night, and it has been ever since, to be fair. So yeah, brilliant news for Arsenal. I've not seen like I said, I've not seen a signing met with that level of excitement since Özil. I was up at the ground on Saturday. I was up in the area really early on Saturday as well, because we were in the pub watching the Tottenham Spurs game and sorry, Tottenham City game, and the buzz around the place generated by Eze and the questions of, is he going to be unveiled? You know, I had so many questions in the hours leading up to it. Are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Everyone just wanted to see it. Everyone was buzzing for it. Yeah, it's been a really special few days as an Arsenal fan, and to see him come out and to see the look on his face when he came out and how touched he was, and the realization of this dream and this sort of career arc he's had of being released and then fighting so hard to get back there and then realizing his dream, you know. It was in a world where football is seen as very sterile now and all about money. And whenever you hear players talk about why did you sign, it's like, oh, I want to play Champions League football, which is fine. But to then watch that interview that Eze did of Ian Wright and just see the level of passion and desire just to play for Arsenal, I think as an Arsenal fan, it's impossible not to love it. It's an exciting that's touched everyone. I think really has.
Yeah, so even though you were in the pub watching Tottenham beat City, there was still the buzz, was there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone, to be fair, I think everyone was not quite happy because you don't want to be happy to see Tottenham win a game, but I think people are looking at the season as a whole and thinking who's going to be more dangerous to Arsenal, Tottenham or City, and they just always beat City. It's just a given, isn't it? Now it does. It's like, oh, Tottenham playing City, 3 points Tottenham.
Yeah, especially the
Apart
attack
from
as
when
well.
it would hand Arsenal the title, obviously.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah. I've still got PTSD from that, but anyway, I
Yeah.
want to, yeah, looking at the Spurs angle for a bit because, like you say, there was the social media meltdown from the Spurs faithful. Lot of anger directed towards Daniel Levy in particular for not getting this deal through, especially after the Morgan Gibbs White saga as well. But as you said, Eze just has that heartfelt bond with Arsenal, just that unbreakable ties to the club. He was heartbroken when he was released, but he's always wanted to come back and show what he is capable of doing. So, when you've got a player like that who just is pining for one club, the Spurs fans are going to, want to find a sort of scapegoat, and Daniel Levy will be that scapegoat. But their frustrations with that, I mean, was there much more Tottenham could have done? Is it unfair to go and attack Levy for this one?
Is it unfair? I mean, I can understand the frustration of it, and I think they'll be looking at it and think, well, he's been on the market for ages. Just go and get this done. You know, James Maddison got injured how many weeks ago? But it does sound when you speak to people who know far more about how the deal happened than certainly I do, and you hear some of the information, it does feel like Eze was, doing everything he could to sort of long it out and see if Arsenal were to come back. I mean, James McNicholas wrote a brilliant piece in the Athletic afterwards, after it was announced, and said that on that day he was going to sign for Spurs on the Wednesday, he made one last ditch phone call to Mikel Arteta, basically saying, "Look, the deal is here for me to be signed now for Tottenham. Is there any chance that you guys can firm up your interest in me?" Now, he was basically begging to sign for Arsenal. So it is hard from a Tottenham point of view at that point, I suppose. It's like, well, if the player just does not want to come, if he's got his heart set on someone else, it is very hard to do it. But you can understand the frustration for Tottenham. I mean, imagine being a Spurs fan there, and yet the player you think you're going to sign ends up going to Arsenal at the last minute. It's not quite Sol Campbell vibes, but it's not far off. So I can understand the level of frustration.